Hello, hello, friends. How are you doing? I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And we're back. Look at this, we're back. It has been a little while, hasn't it? My goodness, the time flies. I just need to make sure I've got all of my chat stuff ready. Awesome. Awesome. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great evening. We are back for some more calligraphy fun. I'm hoping and praying that you can hear me okay. And I thought I might just be alone here today, but it looks like we've got at least a few calligrapher friends. I sent it out at the last minute last night. I really wanted to get back and do some more calligraphy on these live streams, so I went ahead and sent it out last night. But I hope if you're out there watching, I hope you're having a fantastic evening so far. And we are going to dive back into the fun. You can probably tell my little studio is a little bit changed. I moved recently, and it's been fun getting everything set back up. You can imagine that's part of the reason why there haven't been some streams for a little while, but I am excited to get back into it tonight. So if you have any questions, or if you want to say hi, please stay in the chat. It'd be fantastic to hear from you. Otherwise, I will probably just go ahead and get started. I've selected a quote. I've tried to streamline things a little bit this time. So I've selected a quote for us to work on tonight. And then I did have a choice of inks to embellish it with. But we will see what happens there. So maybe I'll just go all black. Maybe I'll just go ahead and pick an ink. I was curious about a couple of them. So we'll see what happens. I'm shaking it up right now as I work. So alrighty, without further ado, then I'm not seeing anything come through in the chat yet. Everybody's a little bit shy tonight, maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's transition to the overhead view. And the quote that I am going to be lettering tonight is a fun one that I just stumbled on recently. And I wrote it at the back here at the bottom. And that quote is, "Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties," which I think is a pretty fun one. And I have 3 inks that I was going to be picking from tonight. One is a shimmering blue, one is a white pearl, and the other is it's right here, is a shimmering green. So shimmering green, white pearl, and shimmering blue. Initially, the blue was talking to me. I thought it would be fun to see what happens with the blue. So let's go ahead and see. Maybe what happens with it. I'm going to shake them both up. Maybe whichever one gets settled out first. That'll be the one I go with. Even though it's a little harder to tell. Looks like that winner is blue. So maybe we'll try green another week. Although I am now kind of curious. I feel like the green and brown might go together, right? It'd be kind of a woodsy look. Okay, the green is officially shaken up. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Maybe I'll go with the green. I'm now waffling back and forth. Let's see. All right, let's go with... I'm going to go with blue. That was my gut instinct to begin with. You can see the decision-making process happening live. So we'll bring out the jar. My blue ink is all shaken up. It's an Elvis song, right? I'm all shook up. I think there's a new Elvis movie out there. I have not seen that one. Haven't been to the movies in a little while. So let's get a little bit of this blue. Can you tell? Can you see the blue shimmering in there? Ooh, that's going to be fun. Alrighty. So we've got the blue shimmering ink. Go ahead and keep that going. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. And just make sure I can still see the awesome chatting. All right, fantastic. Hey, Douglas, greetings from Colombia. My goodness, it is great to have you here, Douglas. Thank you for joining. I just now realized too, I may end up using my my eyedropper as a stirrer since I don't know, since the move I don't know where anything is. So it's fun trying to find all of the stuff. So I'm gonna throw in creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. I'm gonna put that in the chat. That way maybe I'll have a shot at remembering it. So here we go. Quote of the day. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. All right, there we go. That's the quote. Maybe I'll remember it. And howdy, Paula. It's fantastic to have you here this evening. I'm so excited you're here. All right, get all my stuff arranged, and we will just start a lettering. I decided to go with just a black ink today and tan paper. I thought it would be fun maybe just to go ahead and keep it simple today. And then we'll see what happens. I'm extremely curious to see what happens with this blue-black combination. Maybe you are as well. So, all right, let us get lettering. And I thought this would be a good way to get started because it saved a little bit of time. And that way I get to letter more. So let's start with the C. Ooh, I can tell that's going to be fun already. And as usual, before the stream, I ran my calculations, the calligraphy calculations, to see if this would fit. And it, according to my calligraphy calculations, it should fit. So we'll see how that turns out. So creativity. This is interesting. So I'm using a shimmering ink. Has anybody else out there tried one of these shimmering inks before? They were one of the biggest surprises last year during the streams. I think it was a shimmering gold that I paired with black, and it was extremely surprising. Hey, Megan, great to see you. Thanks for joining in. The question is, do we go giant T or a controlled T? Let's see. Maybe we'll go medium. I went with a medium T at the end. And you're right, it is very sparkly in there, right? It's hard to tell, maybe on camera, but it is super, super sparkly. I'll do the old tilt, and maybe you'll start to see how the shimmering is already happening. It's every time I use these shimmering inks, I'm shocked at how vibrant the color is. So there we go. We got an eye in here. Creativity. How has everyone's summer been? I hope you've had fantastic summers. Probably maybe a lot less box intensive than mine. Still swimming in boxes. Creativity. Okay, we're going to go with another T. It's already doing some interesting stuff. So we're also going to see just how rusty I am. It's been a couple of minutes here since our last live stream, right? And we'll also see if I misspell anything. Do I go big with the... Yeah, let's go big with the Y this time. All right, we're going to just leave that one there. And this was the big surprise. I'm gonna wipe. Wiping isn't the big surprise. But the big surprise was just how much color and just how many different gradients I got out of the ink last time. It was really surprising. Hey, Megan, I'm so glad to hear that you've missed streams. Me too, honestly. I've missed chatting and hanging out with everybody. I had to break down my studio several months ago. See, I've already forgotten the quote, creativity requires. So I had to break down the studio, and it felt like it would be a whole lot of work to just keep rebuilding it, taking it down, rebuilding it, taking it down. So I ended up just kind of pausing for a little while. But here we are again, now that we're moved. You can probably tell I'm somewhere new because the background is a lot plainer than it used to be, right? I used to have art hanging up. I'm still working up the courage to put nails in the wall. Creativity requires. This is turning into all sorts of interesting colors. So what has everybody else been up to since we last had some calligraphy fun? Oh, thanks, Paula. I'm glad that you're finding that it looks cool. It's amazing sometimes how different things look when you just load them up and put them onto the page, and then how different it looks when it dries. Like I'm already seeing with the stuff that's dried over here, the cool things that I'll show you here in a second. I have to say, these pearlescent inks turned out to be a much bigger surprise. I thought they would be a little, kind of a little bit of colorful. I was kind of curious how it would pan out, but shockingly, it's far more like vibrant and saturated than I would have expected. So I highly recommend them. And this time, in the description, I've put links to the supplies that I'm using, specific links. So I thought that might be more helpful than just the broad link to the tools page. And because I hadn't really decided what ink we'd be going with today, I figured I'd just update it afterwards. But for anybody who's curious, this is the bottle. It's the De La Rowney Shimmering Blue. Now I'll give you the tilted page in a minute to give you the full effect. I'm going to use my ad-lib because I can't find my stirring sticks. My ad-lib stirring device, which is the eyedropper. Can't even find my toothpicks. I say that. I thought I might be able to find them here. All right, so I think I was writing requires. So I genuinely, wow, it's turning a lot whiter now. I was just saying, I genuinely hope you all had a fantastic summer. Just full of all sorts of fun. Let's go, I feel like going really crazy with that S. That S is going way down there. So creativity requires, I believe it was the courage. Have you tried any cool inks in recent history? Or done any cool projects? Calligraphy requires the... See, just like last time, this ink at its base is black. So the ink that's in the pen is black, but I am definitely not getting black as I'm writing. It's really fun to be back with everybody. Hey, Shawnee's here too. Greetings, Shawnee. How are you doing? Thank you for coming back for a very last minute live stream. I honestly thought I might just go ahead and I might just end up here alone, given it has late as I scheduled this yesterday. But I have been wanting to get back into doing the streams for so long, longer than you might expect. I'm literally for the past couple of months, and every time I just think, oh, maybe one more week I'll have this ready or I'll have that ready, and eventually you just gotta do it. So here we are again, and a magnificently huge thank you for coming and having some calligraphy fun this evening. Oh, thank you, Shawnee. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. Missed the online lettering from Oklahoma. Oh, well, there's hopefully going to be a lot more of it coming in the upcoming weeks. That is definitely my goal. And I think I encourage everybody all the time in classes and stuff like that. You know, you do the best you can with the tools that you have and the setup that you've got. So I probably could have waited and tried to make the, the back wall there a little bit snazzier, a little bit fancier. But sometimes you just gotta go. You gotta go do the best you can with what you've got. And it's I was giving a lot of talks over the summer, a couple of talks, I should say, that were kind of more focused on the creative business side of things. And one of the things I was always encouraging people to do is to go use the 80-20 and iterate rule. So you try to get 80% of the value with 20% of the effort. And just keep iterating and, small improvements, small steps, not giant leaps. So here I'm trying to follow my own advice. Megan is saying, went from working full-time in the summer as an assistant in a vet clinic to back to school full-time, now second year vet tech. Wow, vet tech student. Well, congratulations on going full-time. My goodness. I hope it's going well. And what a lovely profession to be getting into. I genuinely hope that's going very smoothly. I'm sure it was tough, probably doing part-time. And the days of school. I have to say, I don't miss tests, honestly. I tend to get nervous. Requires the courage. You might have gotten a sneak peek to let go of certainties. The courage, and we'll do a little show of the crazy blue. The courage. 2. How's everyone else doing? Ponderance of a Gravedigger. Wow, great work. Thank you, Ponderance of a Gravedigger. My goodness. It's the courage. I genuinely appreciate the kind words. And there's the black again. I have already forgotten. Isn't it? It's crazy to let go of certainties. 2. I think this one's going to be close with the calligraphy measurements. What else have you been up to in the past months? I'm curious to hear from everybody what you've been doing. Wish you had those. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. But seriously, you can definitely do this. You could definitely do this. I always tell everybody you could totally do this. Just takes a little time, little practice, and always try to have fun while you're practicing. And if you can tell, I came right back to the circles. I figured let's start somewhere comfortable before we go in any crazy new directions. But yeah, figured we could ease our way back into some of the calligraphy fun. But thank you very much, and I promise you can absolutely do this. There's no magic or wizardry involved. You could totally do this. Gohan is saying, I take black ink and grind up A68 piece of lead, grind up to a powder, and add it to the ink. Interesting. That is a really, really cool, really sounds. I mean, my brains are thinking. I'd be super curious to see what that looks like. Does it end up looking really like shiny, like a metallic ink? Grinding up lead into the ink. What an interesting idea. I still love all of the creativity that's out there. So many things you can try. And that's what I always encourage people to do when they're practicing, is try to have some fun, because that will make it'll encourage you to keep practicing, right? If you're having a good time. To let go, and then of. So 2 O's and an F. We've got an oof in here. See, while I'm practicing, I literally just make crazy jokes and make myself laugh. Philip, greetings, Philip. How are you doing? My pilot parallel pen Comes tomorrow. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Philip, are you in for some fun? I promise you're going to have a great time. A great time with this. What size did you order? I'm curious. Are you getting one or did you get the whole set? To let go of. I'm going to finish all of these. To let go of. Certainties, I believe was the last word. Yeah, there's so many sizes, and it's one of the questions that I often get asked, especially in workshops and stuff, is which size do I recommend starting with? I'm just going to give it a wipe, and I'm going to stir. I really have to find those little stirring sticks for my cool magnetic stirrer. But in the meantime, see, do the best you can with what you got. Let's get these inks all stirred up. I probably could have grabbed one of the little stirring sticks from another bottle. Let's see. All right, let's go of certainties. Actually, maybe we'll take a little. Anybody interested in a sneak peek? Because I know it looks really gray and black right now, right? It's actually way more blue than you would think. Let go of. I think I may have too much room on this one. Yeah, Megan saying I got a coworker into fountain pens. I'm happy and somewhat worried about them now. Fountain pens are so much fun. I have a couple right next to me. I might have showed one of them off recently. I may have to go either I go pinky technique for anyone who remembers that, or I find a scratch sheet of paper. I think I've got some scratch paper. For once, the mess ended up working in my favor. So here we go, little cover page. Everything's pretty dry, surprisingly. What did you, Megan? Did you introduce them to a specific fountain pen? So have they already got their pen? And then, of course, I also have to ask, what inks did you introduce them to? Because that's a whole thing as well. And also, please do let me know if the music is too loud, because I had to, I believe the technical term is rejigger all of the settings. So do let me know if it's sounding like there's too much music back there. All right, we're getting close. Philip, very cool. I see you went big with the parallel pen, the 6mm one. You went with this guy. All right. That 6mm one it's a juicy one. Very, very big. It's a lot of fun though. You can create a lot of really cool effects. Is it your first one? You're going big, my friend. I'm telling you. Okay, certain. Get a little dip. And then I'm so close to the end. I'm gonna wrap the basic lettering up. And then I'll show you, I'll do the little reveal of how this looks. And see, when you do it, it's going to be even neater than this. I've got to sit further back so I don't headbutt the camera. and considerations like that you don't have to worry about when you're practicing on your own. Look at that. This one did fit, and I ended up with more room. Unless I misspelled something or left a word. Left a word out. That is also possible. And interesting, I've been doing a lot of classes lately. So I actually just defaulted to one of the more basic keys rather than the crazy ones that I use sometimes. let's do our cool S. So who's ready to see the metallic pearly goodness? Let's bring that S. Oh, let's go. Man, we went way down there. That one was fun. And we're going to finish all of these in a second. All right, and I've got a little space there that we can play with otherwise. So who's ready to take a quick check? So what do you think right now? I think it looks pretty black and gray, right? Is that what you're seeing? Oh, get ready. This should be cool. Hopefully this actually works. Otherwise it's just going to be I overhyped it, which I am known to do. But here we go. I'm going to pick up the page and hopefully you'll start to see some of the blue pop up. And you see the blues? Maybe if I even darken things a little bit, you'll get a little bit more. Let's go a little darker, I think, and you'll get. Can you see more of the blue look? These pearlescent inks are really cool. I don't know why as you probably have heard before, I'm a sucker for metallic inks, but I'm also a sucker for like cool color changes and things like that. And get the lights back on. So what'd you think? All right, seeing some chatting happening. The ducks are saying the long vertical strokes are perfect. They always come out too crooked for me. Hey, you know what? That's okay. If they're not, I mean, mine have crookedness to them as well. But even, I would say just, have fun. Even a little crooked line can be interesting, right? We're getting close to Halloween, so it's the perfect time for some scraggly lines and stuff like that, right? Give everything maybe a little bit more of a spooky kind of a look. Awesome one. I think they probably make it in some way. Awesome, Tamara. So far, she's tried most of mine, but to start, bought a platinum Plaisir. I know that one. Haven't gone crazy with the inks. I did offer her a sample of anything. That is definitely the way to get hooked fast, right? Get a sample of some fun inks, and then you're off to the races. All right, let's start adding some effects. I may try something different on the E since I went with a standard. Usually I add these. Maybe I'll go with like a little diagonal swoosh this time. As you can tell, I'm always a stickler for terminology. So in this case, I've got an I. So either I'll go, it's been a while. Let's add some flourishy fun. And then come back up here, like so. And maybe get the eye like that. That turned out fun. So maybe I'll work my way around. Who knows? Let's see. In this case, let's do a swooshy eye like that. Maybe a simple T. I'm going to come back and get these descenders later. Anybody else into fountain pens? I've remembered Megan and I on the streams. We've had some fun fountain pen chats previously. They are an unreasonable amount of fun, those pens. And I see Philip saying it's your first one because of the big paper. Good job. It'll definitely help filling up that paper. I promise you that. They even have these, what are they, like 15 millimeter, I think, paint pens? Those are great for filling up paper. They are huge. Requires we'll do the crossbar. See things. Well, I'm keeping an eye out down here because that's still wet. And if I put something over it, my hand or the page will be in smudge city, which is okay. You can still work through the smudges sometimes. Sometimes you can just add a cool special effect. Do I finish? There we go. Close enough. And we're working our way around. I'll do this guy again. Coffee and crime. These usernames are really killing me today. They're hilarious. Is that when you do most of your criming? Is with the coffee? Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. And Gohan is saying 6-meter, hope you ordered a refill. That's an excellent point. If you're going to be using these, I'm going to do a reach. If you're going to be using these cartridges, it's good to have some extras for that 6mm. It will burn through them a whole lot faster than the little ones, the 2.4 or the 1.5. But you're going to have some fun. Can't wait. I can't wait to hear. Hopefully you'll come back and tell us how it goes or how it went. Is it your first time using the parallel at all, or? Aha, see, almost a smudge there. Got on the page. We'll see if we... I'm going to have to be careful. Having too much fun. I may have to move to the pinky technique just to keep going. So, as you're following along, start thinking... What color should I start doing outlines and stuff with? That's kind of a big question. Oh, left a little. There we go. The courage to let go. Looks like I've got the L there. Yeah, let's keep that one simple. And for anyone who hasn't been on the streams before, this is the pinky technique. I'm basically using my pinky to prop my hand up because I'm not patient enough. I don't want you guys to sit here with me and watch. I think the saying is paint dry, right? But I think ink is a pretty close second. May not be the most exciting. Although these inks can be a lot of fun. To let go. What to do with this T? I'm feeling it's a little cramped over here on the left, so maybe we'll just do a little swooshiness up there. All right, 6 boxes of refills. Go on, say, I order 6 boxes of refills every time. That's hilarious. I mean, I don't know if you need 6 boxes, but you're definitely covered then, unless you're doing a lot of writing with it. Again, very, very sophisticated stirring technology at work here. Eyedropper. I'm going to have to wash that thing quite thoroughly after this. That's funny, 6 boxes. Ooh, the F. Let's come down and give the F some fun through here. I like that. Today's turned into a very kind of a swooshy day with the lettering. Oh, thanks. Go on. I'm really happy that you're liking this. Certainties. Looks like we have more room. I mean, let's do that there. And thanks again to all of you for hopping on live. I really do have fun with these. It's always fun chatting with you. So thanks. Thanks for joining in the fun. The Calligraphy. I feel like I'm always like skewed onto the right side of the screen here, so I'm going to try to center myself. And you can tell I've already got a little dot there, but it's okay. We'll work with it. In fact, if I really wanted, let's just get a few more of these little accents in here. And then we'll come back and fix that up. I get the S. I don't think I did. So one thing I could do, I could work with it, or if it's still wet like this one is, sometimes you can just kind of dab it dry with a paper towel and just pick it up. Ooh, because this one's metallic, it's still leaving a dot. But that's okay. I'm sure we'll still have fun with it. So where to go with the I this time? Let's I'm feeling like more of a zigzaggy eye. Like that. Ooh, and maybe we could even combine it with the T. And the other eye. I mean, I don't know why I ended up going in this direction, but there we are. Everything's combined into interesting shapes. It's ended up being very flowy. On the top, what do you all think? How's it turning out? And also, any thoughts on the outline? I could go with the blue, or I could go with white. Black's always a classic. But let's see what kind of flourishy goodness we can get up to with the little inside lines. Or these descenders. I'm going to go ahead and... I left off with the S around here, so let's go ahead and start with the S. Again, applying the pinky technique. So I don't have to leave you here just watching the ink drying. You know what? Hey, maybe we're just going to keep going this direction. Yeah, maybe that's good. And then for the Y, that's a Q, so that's not going to need too much of a descender. So maybe I'll go out to this way. Okay. Yep, see, I can tell the ink's already... This ink, these pearlescent ones, they really like to settle. Mental note, after stream, find stirring sticks. To make life easier. And clean eyedropper. So let's try to finish that Y now. You know what? Let's go. Maybe we'll curve this one this way. And back this way, looping around that little... There we go. That's interesting and different. The Q, I might leave that one alone. Maybe we'll do something interesting with it. We'll see. Back to another S. Let's see. Maybe we'll go this way for this S. And then curve it back around. And I'll just leave that one like that. And two more. And this is a G. Let's go like so. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Preponderance of a Gravedigger. I appreciate, again, the kind words. Go on every day, all day. And this might be a dumb question, but what kind of paper is that? That's an excellent question. I will put a link in the description in a second. Or not in a second, but after the stream. But it is... This is the paper that I'm using. Strathmore TONED paper. I hope that helps. Always happy to help. And it's not a dumb question at all. I mean, I'm not sure how one might decipher the kind of paper. And especially with this style of lettering. You know what? Maybe I'll just come out this way for this one. For this style of lettering, the paper makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. So yeah, mixed media. I found mixed media to work well with the parallel pens. Yeah, maybe this is another G. Let's come down here like so. And I'm going to keep this one simple because I don't want to collide with that S. There we go. All right, here we go. And I've got a little corner there at the side to play with potentially. Let's see, Philip saying, yes, it's my first time using the parallel. I used the Zig calligraphy marker. The nib is shaped similar to the parallel from what I can see. And yes, I got the multicolored 6 box. Good for you. That's 6. The multicolored box is a lot of fun because it comes with some colors that aren't as easy to get, pardon me, in the other as individual boxes. Awesome. I'm glad you have the paper. You're already off to the races. You could do this one yourself. So now, look at that. It's 8:40, so we still have some time. I can start doing some outlines. What's everybody leaning towards? What are you feeling? I think maybe white. I think black might be too plain. I do have my white. I have some white markers next to me. Just occurred to me, I have to find the rest of my supplies. Oh yeah, I put them here. So I could do a blue. This could be an all blue themed piece. Let's see what we're thinking. Let's pick something. So there's a jelly roll pen. I could go white. Red. Now there's an interesting idea. Teal or turquoise. I do have all of those. Red, teal. The red got me thinking, I have to admit. Are we thinking metallic red? I'm looking for all my supplies down here if you can't tell. Because I might even have some very metallic red. Although maybe since this is, can you tell? Here we go. Blue again. Maybe like a solid metallic red might be too much. Red and blue, this could end up being like a very Spider-Man-y piece. Okay, well this is a metallic red. We'll see if it still works. And let me see, I might have another one. I'm gonna roll off to the side here. All right, I couldn't find my supply box. Next time, that's suspense for the next live stream. I'm gonna find that supply box. Okay, so blue and red, fire and ice feel. Let's see. So I'm gonna start this. And one thing, let's see if I'm smudging the whole thing up right now. Well, it looks pretty dry. So actually, one thing I can try to do, I'm gonna darken it a little bit for you, and I think that might show off the bluiness a little bit more, closer to what I'm seeing. So here's the page. As I make it darker, hopefully you can tell it's a lot blue. It's bluer maybe than you thought it was, right? Which is pretty crazy. Man, these metallic inks, they're so much fun. The pearlescent ones, surprisingly so. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do a quick test. And if not, I do have some other reds, but let's see how this one goes. Okay, I think that works. It's a little paler. Here we go. Hopefully get you to be able to see that okay. So it's a little paler, but it might work. Maybe the red, and it is metallic. Ooh, this one's even a little bit thicker. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna work with it and we'll see how it goes. So there's my little test area. This is gonna be very interesting. A different direction than I was expecting. And then we'll see, maybe I'll figure out something to do with that space. Sometimes I've just left it blank too. So this outline process is just the fun, slow process of working around with these. But we'll see how far we get. Usually on the streams, it didn't have much time to work through this, but today we do have some time. This is interesting. What do you think? Should I stick with this red? We are making art together again. Blue and red front. Do I have Havy? I think Havy was supposed to be Etsy. I don't have an Etsy page. No. I actually have my own online shop. It's just blacklettershop.com. Is there something you were curious about in particular? That's where I share or have all like PROCREATE brushes and instructional toolkits, and I'm working on releasing some videos soon too. Okay, so what do we think? How is this red? How's this red coming? On the not flames on the non-metallic on the inner circle. That is a very interesting idea. I may even have to break away just to start playing with that, because I do have some other non-metallics. And the cool thing is, sometimes I've even done this where if I've started with a color and I don't necessarily like it too much, I'll then just go over it with another color. And sometimes it creates an interesting kind of a layered effect. It's obviously a lot more outlines to draw, but it can be a lot of fun. So don't feel like you're stuck with something. So now, let's see. I have a few reds. I'm going to grab another one of these that's next to me and see what we think. Let's see. I'm going to try. I like this idea of maybe having a bright red on the inside. The creativity that always happens here is so much fun. Okay, so let's see how this starts to look. You tell me what you think. Of course, it helps when the ink comes out, or the paint in this case. Maybe this one's drying out. What do you think? So this is the inner ring. It's got a kind of more of a standard bright red. This is turning out very interesting. Oh, cool. Metallic red and orange. Interesting idea. I like where this is going. Maybe the inside becomes a gradient. Maybe that's where we go. Man, the hour always goes by so fast. Thank you again for joining in and for all the cool ideas. I can guarantee you I wasn't planning to go blue and red with this today. My original plan, if you're curious, was basically to just go all black. Start with something basic and simple for this stream, and then maybe start to go wilder and crazier in future weeks. But I like what we've done here. I always love the creativity that you come up with. It's a lot of fun. Hey, maybe in a future week I'll even bring in some fountain pens and we'll have some fun there. I think I've mentioned that in the past too. Okay, so we're getting the feel for this. From where I'm sitting, it kind of looks a little bit more pink, which is interesting. All right, Megan is saying I like the gradient idea. Okay, let's pivot. I'm gonna grab some markers, and I don't know if you could even hear me as I'm leaned over. I'm gonna grab some markers, and we're gonna see how fun we can have with this gradient on this inner ring, and then maybe the outer one too. So let's grab this. Okay, the question is, so I've grabbed a whole slew of markers. So the question is, where should the bright spot be? With 9 minutes to go, let's see how close we can pull this off. Up here, or should maybe the bright spot is down here by this little opening. What do you think? See, may have just created a little spot for us. So I'm gonna have to. I'll work around that red, but let's see. I'm sure we can work around it. So let's see if we can pull off some amount of a gradient here in 10 minutes. Shaking up the paint pen. Okay, so I'm starting here with kind of a darker red. Maybe I'll just kind of work my way through the outer ring. Or sorry, the inner ring. I said one thing and was doing the other. We're just going to keep it loose like that for now. I'm just going to try to kind of work out where the colors should start and end. Okay, so let's go a little bit more red here. Okay. And then pull in some orange. That is a bright orange. What do you think? How's it turning out? So we'll get some orange over here. I may have even started these a little bit too soon, because I know I'm gonna try to get some yellow over there. Yeah, I think I did. I'm gonna add a little bit more red. So see, because I just did very little red. So this is the fun process. Just experiment and figure out where things need to start and end. So let's add a little bit more red. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Back to the orange. Okay, orange. Sorry if I'm giving anyone whiplash with all the rotating. And that's the cool thing. I can still come back and make some adjustments if I want. And then that part will be yellow. So I'm gonna pull in this yellow. Maybe right there, we're gonna keep it super bright. So within these, I also have some fluorescent colors. Can you see a little gradient happening there? These fluorescents can be fun. I think I just sprayed some on myself. Oh. They're fun when they actually have ink in them. Just trying to get the ink flowing. Your page can be a handy little ink dabber as well. So there we go. So there was clearly ink in there. All right, back to the yellow. Just try to feather it in a little bit. Okay, what do you think? I think I may have gone too heavy with the initial dark, but I can pull now a little bit more of this red on top of it and start to blend it in. I even have kind of a neon orange that we can use to add some interesting like little bright spots for the orange. I think maybe I'll do a little bit more here as we get closer to that. To that yellow. All right, what do you think? I think that's going to be pretty cool. This turned out to be really interesting. I did that in roughly 4 minutes, right? Or so. So let's see how much, if I can get that outer ring in there. What do you think? How's this turning out? So right now I'm just keeping all of these little markers in my hand as I work around. And now that I've done the other side, I have a little bit more of a transition to go by. So now I need, this is the bright red. This should go a little bit quicker. Thanks, Megan. Can't wait to see it finished. Part of me is sometimes right there with you. Sometimes as these ideas start to happen, and I love all the creative suggestions. This gradient idea was a great one. I'm often curious to see how things end up turning out at the conclusion as well. And it's one of those things where sometimes you're never really done. Right? You could keep tweaking and adding things and making changes. Okay, there's a little, I think I should have put more red there in my haste. I'm getting excited and forgetting things. This should be more red. But that's one nice thing about these paint pens is you can just keep going over them. Let's try this bright orange over here a little bit. And then maybe as it goes out, it starts to get a little bit warmer. So there's going to be more of the yellow. There we go. Got some of that yellow going now. I may even just add a little bit more over here to match. Let's see, looks like there's a question. Outer ring with blues and silver. Man, this could get really interesting. Blue and silver on the outer rings, like cool. And then I think that's going to be fun. Maybe we even continue on this one next week. Do you think we stay with the pink in the middle? I think maybe it kind of works because it's a little bit more pastel-y. Is that a word? Pastel-y? Pastel-esque? Who knows? Nobody can know. It's not like there are dictionaries or things like that out there where we can find things out. Oh, let's see. Oh, and Gohan is saying, why won't it come out unless you push it? And it comes out in a puddle, but it won't actually make a line. Yeah, I think one element of that is these pens that I'm using are quite old. I've had them for a few years. So yeah, sometimes when you give it a push, you just get a little puddle. That's why I tend to do them on a separate sheet of paper. That way I don't end up with a giant puddle right on my page, which has happened before. But you know, even when that, sometimes I'll just, if you can't tell, I'm over here just kind of dipping to get a little bit of the wetness back. So my guess is it probably just means that the felt tip is quite dry. But sometimes it's okay. Like I'm okay with a little bit of that not completely straight line, right? We were talking about that a little bit before, that even if you don't draw straight lines, sometimes it gives it more of an organic or an interesting look. And you know what? I might even come back in and using the lighter red, just give it a few dots here on the inside. Just for interest, just to show that it's not one solid color all the way through. There you go. What do you think? Great idea, Megan. I think that was your idea, right? For the gradient. I think that was fun, and I'm very intrigued about the outer gradient as well. Outer ring with blues and silvers. What a cool idea. So pink fades to blues between lettering, perhaps. Interesting. Ah. Unless you store it upside down. Interesting. Mine are always stored sideways because I have horizontally because I have a rack that I have that I keep these in. But interesting to know about that. Molotov, I figured, yep, these. So good to know if I store it vertically. But sometimes I worry that that'll just cause a giant puddle and a mess. Very cool. All right. So amazingly, the hour has already flown by, but I'm curious. Here's the. So let's see what you think. You can kind of get a zoomed out version. What do you think? This is what we made today. Let's turn off the extra lights. Maybe I'll make this one a little bit less bright. I'm just making it brighter now. So let's dim this light and see what you think. So obviously there's some outlining to be finished there, but it's a very metallic piece now. Oh, good clarification. Thanks, Gohan. A very good clarification. So the paint dried in the tip. Yeah, paint dried in the tip, and that's why it doesn't flow. I'd never did the mental science to think that through, but that makes perfect sense. So I probably just need to invest in new pens, but for now I'm just kind of dabbing them in my little puddles here. All right. Well, thank you, Ponderings of a Gravedigger. We will go back to the chat view again, and thank you so much. So here you go. Here's the cool art that we made today. Maybe even in this view you can see a little of the blue goodness and now our gradient. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. As just a reminder, it makes a huge difference, and I genuinely appreciate it if you give me a like on the video. Really helps out the channel, helps me bring more of these videos to you. So a like if you haven't subscribed already, that also goes a long way. And I will post some updated links in the description of some of the other tools that I use that we kind of came up with on the spot. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take a quick look. Thank you. So crazy. I like that user. It's the evening of awesome user IDs. So thank you, Douglas. Thank you. So crazy. Ponderance of a Gravedigger. Sounds like an awesome band name. Gohan, thank you. Megan, Amy. Oh, thank you, Amy. I didn't see you up there, but thank you so much for the kind words. It has been fantastic being with everybody again this evening. And the plan is for another live stream next time. Maybe we finish this one. Maybe we do something new. We will see what happens. Certainly let me know if you want to see, maybe in the comments, if you want to see us just go ahead and try to finish this one up and what ideas we come up with. That could be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic evening. Thank you again for being here, and I will see everyone next time. Have a good evening. Take care, guys and gals. Bye-bye.